Hi there, welcome to this channel. My name is Freeman from Free-Techno Online, and then my profession. I'm a programmer. I'm an online creator, content creator. I'm a tutor. I'm also a graphics designer, even a web designer. So maybe if you need help with coding or programming, you can contact me. We can just get in touch with me in the comments. I'm going to attend to you. Otherwise, welcome to this channel and thank you for coming back. And if this is your first time in here, I hope that you stay. Otherwise, please continue supporting this channel. So for today's business, we were talking. If you can remember our previous class, if you didn't maybe get it, I'm going to give you the link so that you can check the previous class we had. In this today's class, we are continuing from our previous class. So we are continuing with our contact server application, right? We were creating a contact server application. We said we want to be able to save data, or want to be able to save information about our potential clients, right? That information that we need specifically is the email addresses, even their phone numbers, right? So that we can be able to communicate with them, or to save them, so that we can be able to contact our potential clients maybe in the future, right? So we are going to create a GUI system, or GUI program, software program, simple short program that's going to be GUI, that is going to be able to give us that ability. So what we did in here, or maybe let me start with the databases. What we did in here, we created this database, which is the contact server application database. And then in the database, when I show tables, we created only two tables, right? We have the customers and the users table. As you can see in here, I've just printed them. In the customers table, we have this best customer, and then in the users table, we have this best user, right? So what we need now, we need to connect. We connected the database. If you can remember, if I can run now in here, should I run? Yes. If I can run now in here, you will see that our database through this class, the DB connect class that we created, which is a database connect class we created previously in the previous lessons. I said I'm going to give you the link so that you can be able to check our previous class. Otherwise, we created this class, and then this class gives us a connection to the database, right? So now we are going to see the connection message, I suppose, which says which gives us a green light that now we are connected and continue working on our program, because we need to make sure that the GUI that we're creating, this GUI that we are trying to create, should be able to connect to the database. When we click the login button in here, we are going to check these details, if these details are okay, and then if these details are okay, then we can be able to continue with the program or the login process, right? I think that's clear. So now, whilst IntelliJ is still trying to run, if maybe you remember the previous from the previous class, we didn't have this constructor, right? This constructor, I've just inserted it just right now. I just added a listener in here. When you add a listener in here, an action listener, where it says create listener, and then when you add this create listener, when you add an action listener, it is going to create that construct. I created that is how I created that construct. As you can see now, it is running and it says we are connected to the database. So that means we can go on, continue with our program. So for us to continue with our program, I was trying to say I've just created this constructor, and from this constructor I added an action listener which listens when we click on the login button, right? So what we need now, okay, when we click the login button, we are going to read this code. This code is from the login method, right? The login method, what it simply does, it checks if the values, these ones, if you have values inside these text fields, right? This text field, which is this one, the user ID and the password. If you have any values in here, then this code is going to say okay, if you proceed. But then if you do not have any value, you are going to say receive this message which says please fill in the fields. So now what we want to do, we wanted to create a communication between this panel with this Java code, so that you can be able to, when we click run, as you can remember that when I click run before, I just go to this what you said console. It is a console application. So now we need to run it as a GUI. So for us to run it as a GUI, to see the form, this one, we need to communicate it, to create a communication between this form and this Java code, right? So for us to create a communication, I've just extended the JFrame right in here, and then in this, we're just going to add what we call in this construct, we're just going to add this panel, because I've just created this, named this panel. The panel is this one, looking form. This one, JPanel, main panel. It is this, the looking form. So what we need to do, you need to add this panel in here, so that when you run, it runs a form. So for us to be able to do that, we need to first of all to set maybe dimensions of the JFrame that we're creating. So we're going to call it maybe this.set, maybe just set size or something, and then let us make it maybe do we have to make it maybe 350 by something like maybe 450, 450, yeah, 450, and then no, what am I doing? Those isn't it? We need to press shift. Okay, this set size. What else do we need to set in here? We need to set in maybe this dot set. We can set maybe location, maybe relative to null for centering this. What else do we need to take care of? We need to background. Okay, don't need the background. You can set it, only settings on the GUI. What else do we need? We can add this, the main panel. I think we can add the main panel and then set it visible. We can just say this dot add, and then the main panel, something like this. And then after adding this main panel, we can, then what do we need? We need to say, we need to set it visible. Maybe it's this dot set visible. Maybe let's just make it true so that it can be visible. And then we need to set default close operation. Set default close operation, then jframe dot exit and close. I think this code is going to show the form now, if everything is going according to what we are planning, or according to plan. So let us try to run so that you can see if the form. Oh, okay. I didn't call it in the main here, because you need to call this, the constructor, in the main class in here, so that you can be able to run this code. I don't think now it is going to run this. We didn't call it. We have to call it in here. The connection. Yeah, we have to call this class in the constructor. Maybe for now the connection. Do we need a connection? Let us comment the connection for now, meaning that we are not connecting to the database, but then we are communicating just with just the form. So let us just call the login class. Login. What is happening? Login, and then should we just say new? Maybe login. Is it going to work like this? Yeah, just call it like this. And then when we run this, the program now, it is going to show us the form. I suppose this login, yeah, it is going to run the login class, because we need to be able to run this program in the GUI application. So let us give it maybe a second or something, and then after a second it should be running. Why is it taking too long now? But I didn't test it. Yes, as you can see, now we have this. We created this and this and this. So what we did with the code, the code it is what we said. We added an action listener here. An action listener that is going to test if these fields are empty. When you press this button, these fields, if they are empty, we are going to receive in a JOF page that is going to tell us that the fields are empty. Let me try to press this button, and then as you can see, it says please fill in the fields, meaning that the fields, these fields now are empty. Okay, so I'm just going to fill in the fields. I'm just going to say user ID, because we have not yet connected, we have not yet received data from the database. So user ID and then user pass in here, and then press the login. As you can see now, it says proceed, meaning that this function, this action listener that we created has already started operation. So what we need to do now, now that we can be able to communicate between the Java code and the login form, we need to start manipulating things. We need to start logging in. But as you can see, I need to worry about it. But I need to have I think at least margins in here from the main panel. Yeah, margin top or margin everything. Just put in margins in there. Just margin top. Okay, what is happening in here? I want us to have this something like some cleaning. This is not important, but it is for, this is not necessary, but it is for just cleaning, having this margin from the borders. I think you are understanding it. You can play around with the styles and you style your forms. What I was trying to do is this. You're going to see it now. I wanted us to have this some form of matching, because we previously in our form we had this. It was just compacted in the borders, so we wanted to have some form of matching. Yes, as you can see now, we have this something like matching in here, and then something like matching in here. As you can see, the styling is just generic. We didn't style anything. We don't even have a background color. We don't even have this borders of our text field. You can do all that, but then we are focused on the coding and program logic, so we are not going to be going around styling everything. I think that's clear. So what we need to do now that we are able to communicate between these two, the form and the Java code, we need to connect. We need to take in values from the database, and then this we are going to remove this from here, because we don't need to connect it to the database when we run. But what we need to do, we need to, when we proceed in here, meaning that these fields are filled now. Yes, they have date. When we proceed in here, we need to go to the database, right? To check if the fields that we have put in these text fields, they correspond or they are equal to each other, right? So what we need to do in here, we can, you can create another method to fetch data from the database, or we can just do the logic in here. Let us just do the logic in here. So for us to do the logic in here, I'm just going to introduce a prepared statement, and then before that prepared statement, we're just going to introduce this string SQL, which is the statement that is going to fetch the fields from the database. These fields, the statement that is going to fetch these fields, this one and this one, from this users table. So we're just going to say select star from users. Select. Yeah, we're going to select. Do we have to select star? Just select star. By the way, when you say select star, means we're selecting everything. But then if we wanted only maybe the user ID, we're just going to say select user ID from users, or select maybe password. Like this, password from users. But for now, let us just say select everything, meaning select star from users. And then when we say select star from users, we need to have a condition, because we need to check the user ID that the user has entered. We need to check whether if if in the database we have that user ID that you have just typed in, then we want to select it, to select that whole record. So we're just going to say select star from user, and then we have where condition in here, where maybe user, what do we have in this? We have user ID or something, user ID and password. Okay, we're just going to say user ID equals to, maybe equals to, and then this is a prepared statement. We are going to just leave it like this, and then we need to have this value. So this value, instead of maybe like having it like this, we can just say what is it? Is it an integer or a string? Let's call it string for now. It should be an int. Let me just call string for now. Verify, but then we can describe this users. We want to check if the user ID is a string or an integer. It is an integer, meaning that we need to make it an integer in here. So we're going to say int user ID, something like this, and then we're going to say txt id dot, and then maybe get the text, right? And then when we get this text, we're going to say integer to pass int here, so that we can convert this value into an integer. So we're just going to use the pass int method. Okay, as you can see, now we are getting this, right? From where we are getting this text field, the text that is in this text field, but then we need to change it into be an integer, because we want this user ID to be an integer, so that we can be able to validate using it in here. I think you understand. So I can also get the password. The password should be a string. I'm just going to say string pass, and then I'm just going to say, because now we don't have to convert it, it is already string. So I think we are going to say txt password dot get password or something. Yes, get password. Yeah, is it? Oh, it wants it gives a string provided char. What do we need to? We need to convert it to string, something, to string. Yes, we need to convert it to string. So now we have this. So what we need to do, we need to start the validation now. Okay, before we start the validation, we need to introduce the prepared statement, so that we can capture this ID that we are going to be putting in here. So we're just going to say prepared statement, and then I'm going to call it PST, which is the object name, and then I'm just going to assign it. Then now I need to assign it to the connector class. The connector class, what was it? What is it? Let's try this dbconnect dot. Oh, okay. We can introduce it in here. Just introduce it in here. dbconnect, and then connect, and then I'm just going to say new dbconnect, right? And then here we can just say connect dot. Okay, we need to get the connection first, and then after getting the connection, you can then prepare the statement, which is the SQL, right? And then no, I wanted this one. You can then prepare the statement, which is SQL now. But then why is it not? Because we need to put this into a try cache. So I'm not sure why is it doing like this. Oh, my system has started its games. Yeah, now it is operational. We need to put this inside a try cache. Let's just put it inside a try cache. And then what we can do now in here, we need to set these values. Just going to paste it set Do we need to set int? Yeah, because we want to validate with the int, right? We're just going to say maybe value 1 and then the UID like this. And then when we set this UID, the int, this value, this is the value that is going to be assigned in here. I think you're understanding. The user ID that we got from this txt ID is going to be assigned in here, meaning that we are going to select star from the users table or select everything from the users table where that user ID equals to this one, which is this from the txt field. I think you are getting that one. Otherwise, now what we're going to say, we have to execute this. I think we need to execute with the result set, and then maybe we're going to say arrays, and then we're just going to say pst.execute query, right? And then when we execute this query, we are going to get the record, this one. When we execute this query, we're going to get this record now, right? We are going to get this record. So what we need to do now, we need to check if this record is there. If this record is available, we need to check if these details are matching. So what we're going to say is just while rx.next, meaning that if this record that we are trying to check for is available in the database, then we are going to retrieve those values. We are going to say int maybe id, and then we are going to say retrieve this value arrays.get int, and then we are just going to say user id arrays.get int user id. Otherwise, we also need the password, right? So we're going to say string password. I think we're just going to say we are assigning it to arrays.get the string, and then it should be password. We said password. These words in here, or these strings that we type in here, they must be exactly like these ones. It must be like these ones. Password, these column names in here, they must match in here, so that you can be able to communicate with the database. Otherwise, okay, excuse me. Now that we have these values, we need to do something. We need to validate now, because we have received the values from the table, which is this one, or the form. We've retrieved these values, and then now we have retrieved the values from the database, which are these ones. And then now we need to validate, meaning that we need to check if these two values, or these two details from different from the database and from the form are matching. So we need to start validating. So for us to validate, we're going to use the if statement. We're just going to say if, and then if maybe if uid dot, but uid is an integer, it must be like equals id, and maybe pass. Let us just start with the pass, yes, dot, maybe let us equals maybe password, the password, this one. And then if this statement is okay, we're just going to let the user know that login was successful. You can just introduce a JOption fail, and then show that user that login was successful. The current component, I'm going to make this one, so I'm just going to make it to the center. Login was successful, something like this, successful, right? Otherwise, if he types in a wrong credentials, we need to also to take care of that. If the user types in the wrong credentials, we need to take care of that. And then that is what we are going to say login failed, I think. No. Or we're just going to say wrong credentials. So that you can understand what is going on in here. So this our code now, the code that you should have just typed in here, should be able to validate with the details that we have in the database. I think that's clear. Meaning that the details that we have in the database now stand like this. We have user ID 10101 and the password is pass 10101 and the password is pass. So if we typed in these details inside the form, we should get a proceed, or otherwise we should get a fake. So let us just wait for it to run for a little bit so that we can be able to see if everything is going according to our plan. But then I think we're understanding how we do this programming logic. I think now, because now if you can understand, I'm not factorizing my code, I'm just coding, just giving in the logic. But then when you, or maybe if you are an intermediate or an advanced program, you can understand that there's a lot of things you can be factorizing in here. You can just vector your code, give the code cleanliness, clean your code. Maybe try to introduce functions or methods where we need to introduce methods in here. Just make a code to be much more clean. But here I'm just doing a beginner code, so you don't need to vector it, you don't need to do anything. Just make the code run and then we're just going to continue. So let us wait for it to show the form. Now it's going to show us the form, and then we are going to try to enter in the details and then see if the details are working or that way. And then as you can see in here, we said the user ID is going to be 10101 and then the password is going to be passed for this user, for the Freeman user. And then when you press login, well, it is going to, it says wrong credentials. What did I type in wrong? Unfortunately I cannot view, I didn't set my password to it. But then what I can do now, I can just double check here, copy this. It should be pass 10101 and then this one should be pass. Let us go back and try to run again. As you can see, the connection now has been set to connect when we click the button. As you can see now, it has not yet connected. But then I'm going to say type 10101 1010 Is that so? 1010 and then the password should be pass. And then click login. Wrong credentials. I think that we have problems in our logic, because this should be okay. It says wrong credentials. If it says wrong credentials, what could be the problem? What could be the problem? We need to debug or something now. Login was successful if user ID equals to ID and pass equals to password. Which is user ID? User ID is this one. Your ID in database in this get text. If this one equals to the ID that is in the database, yes, and then pass equals to the password. Okay, meaning that this pass, it takes the password, get password to string. Can we verify something here? I think we are having problems with this, the get password method, because the get password method, I've not been using it quite often these days, so I think I will have problems. Instead of this, let's just print it out. Want to see something, just print this. Want to say pass, yeah, want to print this before we try anything in here. I want to see what value are we getting from the pass, because it might happen that the password field is giving us errors or is giving us problems. So we need to be able to print it out and then see is it okay, or we need to find a way to play around with the get password field. So let us just wait for it to run, and then put in the 1010 and then 1 in here, and then pass, type in the pass like this, and then run. When you run it, Okay, as you can see, this one, the pass is not giving us the password that we want. It gives us the it is giving us a pointer or the address of the password. So how do we get it? Maybe let us remove it. I said to string password to string. I'm not quite used in this, so what I'm going to do in here, I'm just going to check txt password in here. Let us remove it here and then put a text field, normal text field like this, right? And then I'm going to name it txt password, yeah, something like this. Then when we do this txt password, what's the error now? Oh, okay, the error that we have is this side now. Here it says it's a J password field. We need to make it a J text field, right? And then now we can be able to run it. Yes, we need to be able to run get password, get string text, get text in here. We need to get text in here, and this one in here we could have just used these ones instead of this. We could just use these ones, these variables. I think you're getting it. So but now I'm going to get text, and then we don't need this to string in here if we are using get text, because already get text is a string, so we don't have to convert it to string. I think that's it. That's clear also. So now let us try to run. I think you know what I did. I did this because I wasn't familiar with the password field. I need to do my research on using the J password field so that I can be able to do it, to use it. Otherwise, now we are not interested in those password or whatever stuff. We just need to create a program now to make it run. We are going to change it when we refactor our code. So I'm just going to type in pass in here and then click login. Now we can see here we get the pass and then it says login was successful, right? So the problem was with this J password field. If I can maybe type in a wrong password, something like this, and see if it's going to work. As you can see, it says wrong in the credentials and it gives us the password that we typed in. That means now we can be able to log in using the details that we have in the database. I think that is clear. So what do we need to do now? We need to continue now. That is what we need to do. We need to continue. How do we continue? What we need to do, we need to create another form. The form that we're going to create is going to be regulated by this. Meaning that when the login is successful, we need to close the login form now, this one, and then go to another form. That form that is going to be the main page or the home page of the program, right? The form that is going to give us the ability to add users or to add our potential customers details, right? So what we need to do in here, we're just going to say open this the project explorer, and then in here I'm just going to just log in. I need to create another form. Yeah, do we need to make it its own Java class, controller class? We can make its own controller class. So I'm just going to say create a GUI form, and then in here I'm just going to call it main page, something like that, because it's a Java class. It's going to have a capitalized main page, something like this. It should be main page. We are creating a bounding class, which is a control class like this one. I think you understand. So we're just going to say click OK. So now we have the main page form, we have the main page, and then the login form in here. So what we need to do now, we need to make sure that when we log in from this login form, we are transferred into this page, which is this main page. I think that's clear. So what we need to do in here, we're going to go to main page and then print in a code that code that is going to tell us that we are already in here. So we're just going to have the main method in here, and then let us say we are already in there. Let us say already in the main page, something like this. And then what is going to happen here when we click login? When we are transferred into this form, the main page form, we're going to see this message in the console. I think that's clear. So let us go back into here and edit this one. So for us to edit this one, what we're going to do, we're just going to say in here, let me close this. What we need to do, because now we know that login here can be successful, we're just going to say new then main page, something like this, right? And then this one. What is going to happen now when the login is successful? We're going to be redirected to the new main page. Let us try it to see. We'll see, are we getting what we want to see? We're going to maybe give it a second to run so that you can be able to see detail. Yes, now we're going to type in 10 maybe add 1, and then the password should be pass. And then when I click login, we need to connect to the database, and then we need to also to go to the. But what I did in here, as you can see, I made a mistake in here in the main method of this class. I didn't call the constructor, right? So we do not. What did I do? We don't have the constructor in here, right? So maybe let's create a constructor. It should be main page like this, and then the constructor in here should right, and then this public or something, but it was already public. What is going to happen in here? This is going to run when we, let us try it now. Maybe because we don't need this main method. We already have this main method in here, so I don't think we'd have this one. We just need this constructor, and then let us run. Okay, it's 10.10.1, and then the password should be pass, and then we should click login, and then yes, as you can see now it runs the main page. It says we are already in the main page, meaning that now we need to connect the form of the main page in here, because we also do not need our user doesn't need the code in here. We need to connect the form in here, so that when the user clicks in the login button, he sees the form. So we are going to cut this because we no longer need it. We only need one main method, which is this one. Where is it? This one. Where is the main method? This one. We only need this one main method. The other main methods are going to be automatically created for us. I think you understand. We're going to be running using the constructors from class to class. So what we need to do now that we can connect this, we can hide this form, hide it, or maybe dispose it. Let me just say this dot dispose. Do we have dispose in here? This dispose is going to hide the current form, hide the current frame, because we need to add a new frame. This one is going to hide the current frame, right? And then it is going to open a new frame. And then this for this to be a frame, we need to come to this page and extend a JFrame in here. Extend JFrame. Excuse me. When we extend this JFrame, and then this JFrame is going to add this, the main page, the main page. You can just rename it in here. Just say main panel form, something like this. When you press enter, it is going to be renamed that side. It is going to add this. So what we need to do now, as you can see now, it is here, main panel form. So what we need to do in here, we can just give it dimensions. Let's just give it basic dimensions, set size, because we said we are not interested in styling in those things now. So I'm just going to give it basic sizing and dimensions. I'm just going to say for now, because this one is like the home page is going to have a bigger screen. I'm just going to give it like 650 by maybe let us make it by 700 or 700. Yeah, this one is going to be 650 by 700. And then what else do we need to set? This to set maybe this sort. What else do we need to set? Location, because I like it when my forms are just developing and centralized. So I'm just going to set location. Set location. Maybe I'm just going to make it this one basic. Just make the basic one. And then what else can I do? Just going to edit them and then just going to edit this one. I pressed the wrong shortcut killer. So main panel form, and then because we didn't set any layout here, I'm just editing it. It is just going to be just set it or set on the center. Then what we need to do, we need to set it visible. This set visible, something like this. And then we are going to make it true. What are we doing here? And then we are going to set the default close operation. Set default close operation. This default close operation, for those who might not know it, it helps us when we click close in the form. Yes, when you click close in the form, so that the whole application closes. Because if we do not have this one, what happens is when you click close in the form or when the UI runs, it is not going to close the operation. The program is not going to stop running. It is going to continue running, right? I think maybe let me just do this so that I can show you something. Let me run in here. Is it going to run? No, yeah, it is going to run. I just want to show you something because maybe you cannot understand. For those who might not understand this default close operation, what is it doing exactly? So I'm just going to show you what exactly does it do. We are running. We need to run it, and then we're just going to say in here 10101, and then here we're just going to put in pass, something like this, and then we're just going to log in. And then when log in, as you can see in here, the other form has been disposed. We are only having the main page in here because we haven't typed in or haven't added in anything in the main page. That is why it is blank. So what I'm saying is, as you can see in here, the program is still running in here, right? So because now I have this one set default close operation commented. When I click in here, you can see that the program doesn't stop running. It is still running in here, right? If you can see, the program is still running, but then the form has been closed. So this is the code, or this is the line of code, the statement that helps us to make sure that when we close the form, even the program stops running. I think now you understand why we have the set default close operation, for those who didn't know. Otherwise, now that we can be able to communicate between the form, the main page form, and then the Java code of the main page form, we can now start coding. We can now start creating our user interface for adding the details. But then we can also add a title here so that we can be able to see that this is the home page. I'm just going to say this to set maybe title. Okay, yes, title. Then the title should be contact server, because we are creating a contact server. Save maybe app, right? Something like this, so that when you run it, as you can see, it is a bit smaller. Let us make it a 718 here. I just want it 780, and then here we're just going to make it 920 or 980. Let us make it 920, something like this, so that we can have much more bigger screen. Otherwise, we are going to continue with that logic later, but now we need to look into the GUI part. So our GUI, let us introduce a panel first of all, and then we're going to delete this spacers. We can maybe style this panel, maybe try to find a background or foreground, maybe choose a different background in here. I'm just going to choose a different background. This background is going to be something else, depending on say how do we need our form to be like. Do we have to have a background that is of this color? I just need the background this background, and this background. Yeah, this background, I think it can do it. Just for testing, for example, right? We're not, as you can see now, we have this background. So what we need to do, we need to have this top label, which is like, it's going to be like what, a heading or something. So we're just going to say save your contacts, save your contacts, right? And then we need to centerize it, so we're just going to say horizontal lines, it should be centerized. And then we can also add a font size here. It says default. We can add, create, or maybe increase the font size so that we can be able to see it much bigger. I'm trying to, or it is trying to open this font window. Yes, this is where the font. I'm just going to click. Do we have pop-ins of Free-Code in here? What are we going to use? Oh, Free-Code. We have Free-Code, and then style. Let's make it maybe regular, and then maybe size. It should be this one, because it's a heading. It's gonna be like this. Let us make it bold. Yeah, bold. Yes, save your contacts. And then now what we can do, we can add maybe panel in this side for saving contacts, and then an admin panel this side. So let us just add another panel this side, and then we're going to add another panel this side, right? This panel, the divider, I want this panel to be much more, to be smaller than the other one. How to set it? This one means that we can shrink, or we can set it over here, but then we need a space or something. We can play around with it, but then for now let us just set the background in here to be let us make it, in fact we had to make it transparent or something, RGB, HSB, sorry, I need it to be transparent or something. I wanted it to be transparent, or let us make it white if it can't. Red, green, blue, it doesn't have the alpha. Something like this. And then then this side we're going to have the admin part. We can set the details in here, because I wanted it to be smaller. This one a bit small, but then now, because we are concentrated coding, let us go straight to this. We're just going to put in a label in here, and then this label is going to be like maybe client name, client name, something like this. And then what else do we need? We can even edit the font, change the font, make the font a little bit bigger for a code style. Okay, regular, it's okay. This one, maybe let us make it 16. Font client's name. Okay, font color. I do need to change font color or something. Where do we set font color? Oh, maybe it should be programmed. We needed to darker font or something. Darker font. Yeah, client's name. And then even this one could change it to be like this, so that we can have consistency. We can just copy this, copy, and then go to this, and then we just paste this one. Does it work when we paste it? Oh, it means we need to come to this side, and then oh, he wants me to type 187. What is it? 187 or something, because this is 187. You know what? We can't have it in here. Also, how can we copy it? It's just going to waste my time. This one, okay, we need to copy this one. Copy this one, then come to this one, and then paste it in here, right? And then now we are going to have it like this. Then we have client's name here, and then we are just going to have the text field in some way here. Text field, right? And then we are going to have this one. What happened? V. Yes. And then V. Yes. We are taking client's name, we are taking phone number, and then we are taking email. Let us verify with the database. Let us just describe customers. We are going to take first name, email, phone number, second name, right? Meaning that 4 values. It's first name, email, phone number, and then V again, which is the second name, right? So the first name is going to be here. We're just going to Control C in here, and then Control V, and then here Control V, and then Control V here, also Control V here, and then Control V in here. As I say Control V, I'm pressing Control V. It's a keyboard shortcut. I think you're understanding it. And then these details, I think now we can say we can have buttons in here, buttons for editing, like create. Now we need a button to create. Maybe we can then later on have a button to show, but then I need a screen for administration, because we need also to be able to create new users. So we'll need a screen in here. So let us just, where's the JPanel here? I need a screen for administration in here, and then the screen is going to, I need this to be, to measure this. Okay, it wants to play games, but then we're going to Control C and Control V, this one, like this. Yes. So now we can is it okay if we have these buttons in here, add user, and then administration in this side? Oh, this is layout. This is the layout. Never mind. But then I need to add the user and maybe delete the user and then show maybe all users. So we can have buttons in here. For now, let's just have buttons in here. This button is going to be add, and then you can also style this button by maybe going to font and then choosing the font, code, maybe something like this, and then choosing regular or bold, and then maybe choosing this font size maybe to be like 16, something like this. And then as you can see, it has been styled. You can also style the foreground like this and then paste it like here. Oh, okay, I've lost it. So I can just copy it from here. I can copy it here and then try to style it here. Yes, and then now we can have this button. But as you can see, the button is we need to change the background of the button so that this color becomes more clear. So we can just change the background in here. Have the background like this one. Have this. Do we need this one or that one? Let's choose that one. Oh, it just changed this. I didn't have that's not the background I was trying to change. Anyways, let us Control C and Control V because we need it. We need another button. This add. This is going to be maybe show. We need to, for now we need to add and show all allowed in the database. So we're going to have add in here, add, and then here we're going to have print all or show all. We can, instead of having show all, we can have a table like beneath in here. We can have a table that is going to have the users in the database, right? But for now, let us have the show all. And then here we can have another button, just copy, and then here and then copy. I'm just going to say administration in here. Admin here, something like this. And then what we need, show all. Okay, for now we are just going to edit. So now let us name our field so that we can be able to work with the data inside it. So for us to name our fields, okay, maybe before we name our fields, let us run the program so that you do not get lost. We have to run the program so that you understand what is already going on right now. Because the UI is taking too much time. Okay, when I type in 10, and then in here I'm just going to type in the pass, and when I log in, I'm going to be redirected to this form. As you can see, we have this form. Okay, we have client's name. We type in the client's name here. Clients. I didn't change these values. I have to change these values, but these are buttons. As you can see, it's not a quite a beautiful GUI. We need to try to style it and give it maybe some good looking pieces. But what I can do, we can reduce the height now. We can reduce the height and add the just close it, and then okay, we need to reduce the height and close and add the okay. Now we need to what we need in here, we just need to add the margins. So for us to have the margins added, we need to go to margins in here and type in 10 maybe Why is it not taking everything? Because I want it to be snapped everything. And then in here I'm just going to also choose 10, right? So now we have these ones, and then the margin is going to be 10 10 10 10. Otherwise, what we also need is we need to go to this page and then reduce the height. The height should be 780, and then the width should be maybe 650. Then we can try to run and see if it's shrinking a bit, because now it's too big. It's too big. I'm just going to say 10 10. Then I'm going to have the person here and then login. Yeah, as you can see, now we have the machine. We have it a little bit just smaller, but then you can also style it. Or as you can see, now I have this space in here. Instead of styling this panel, I styled this one. So what you can do, just style this panel so that you can have you can remove the space. You need to style the inner panel, not the outer panel. I think that's clear. Otherwise, let's but because the video now, I think the video now is too long, let us cut the video here. I'm going to change these details in here. We said we need what? We need first name, email, phone number, second name. So I'm just going to say here first name, and then maybe email, and then maybe in here we just have to type in phone, and then in here we just have to have in the second name, right? And then now that we have these details, I think we need to stop. Okay, you can just fix this by clicking the outer panel and then go to the machines and then remove everything in here. Just want 0 here, and also 0 in here. We want 0 in here. We also want 0 in here, right? So what we need now is this panel, the inner panel. This is the main panel. Save your contacts. Shape panel, save your contacts. This is the panel that we need. Was this the panel what we set? Okay, this is the panel that we need now. We need to set this one. Is this the panel that is yeah, I think this is the panel. We need to set it to 10, but then it still have this. Is this the panel that I'm trying to change? 10, and then maybe 10 in here, and also 10. Yeah, I think that's the panel I'm looking for. And then we can run it. You can always try to click the button to test if it's okay. I'm just going to type in 1010. Here's my password. I'm just going to type in pass, and then I'm just going to log in. Okay, this one still has this space, but then this one was set up correct. To remove the space, what do we have to do? This is the space that we created. Okay, how do we remove this one? It is a problem. I think it is a problem. I need to play around with this padding and these panels. But then let us just say for now, let us cut this video here. Please continue supporting the channel, guys. I think you can understand how far we have gone to today. We are going to continue in the next video. I want us to cut this here because this one is going to be a bit longer now. So let us just cut it here. I will see you in the next video where we are going to be now adding the code for this. We are just going to add code for here, and then add this one. When we click add, we take these values and add them into the database. Otherwise, thanks for watching, guys. I will see you in the next tutorial.